This exhibition, Remembrance, subtitled The Dialogue with the Past. It's describing how life in the region was very different to today in many aspects that we can see from our recorded material in terms of video footage, and especially in my field in terms of the images which has survived from the earliest photography of the region, that people were living sustainably, relatively harmoniously, and in a very good state of coexistence with each other, that there weren't issues between different faiths. If you go back to the times of the earliest photography of Jerusalem, and many of the photographers chose to focus on Jerusalem because it was known worldwide its spiritual and religious significance. If you go back to, say, let's say 1900, this kind of time, there was no real division of, I mean, people would be living within their communities of their individual faiths, but that was no conflict, that was no cause of conflict between people at all. I mean, everybody bought and sold from each other, got along with each other. And socially, in the public sphere, it was even not considered polite to ask somebody their religion, in case they thought that you might treat them differently depending on their religion. So there was no judgment, there was no division, there was no them and us at that time in relating to the way that people related to each other. The American colony were incredibly prolific collection of photography because from their passion and love for the region, they covered the entire area. And you can see from the content of the images that people loved them, they felt very, very natural and at ease with them. And so a lot of images came from the American colony collections. I find that people in Amman absolutely wonderful. They still haven't lost the sense of the importance and value of getting along with the people around them, being kind to each other, being helpful to each other. The way that things work socially is a lot more sensible and logical than it would be in the West, which can be overdosed with bureaucracy, or it can also be overdosed with the kind of, like for example, an art gallery in New York. They might see art as such a separate thing from their community life. Whereas here, it's another thing, and it's not blown up into some kind of a over-ideological thing of, oh, it's art, so it can be like $5 million because we can say art, because we have to ask ourselves, what is art? And the previous exhibitions I've done are mostly focused on this region, Palestine, Jordan, because this is where I live, extending out a little bit. And of course, in that time, these lands, you could just go anywhere with a camel. There were no borders. And I'm hoping that for the possibility, it seems to be opening up to present this collection to other regions, that they can have a chance to see it and experience it as well.